Good day, good afternoon, good evening everyone. This is ViperAS for Viperland, and I'm here to solo some more stuff in World of Warcraft. This is Karazhan, which is in Deadwind Pass, really easy to find. It's huge on the map and the zone is minuscule, so if you've ever even passed through, you've probably seen it before. Doors right here, and this is almost like a starter solo raid. It's not overly difficult, but it's a lot of fun. I used to love, back when I was actually level 70 and it was the raid to do, coming in here. I really like Karazhan. So, may as well give it a go. I've actually switched to engineering lately, so I do have a few more fun little toys. When you come inside, there is an optional boss down here. I'm honestly not going to show it because the loot is terrible. It's a random boss, and even when we were raiding this place, nobody does this boss. It doesn't drop anything good for transmog, it's not part of the achievements for this place, it's really optional. So, if you want to, you can do it. I'm going to skip this trash. If you touch the boss without pulling any trash, it pulls all of them, but if you have any amount of defensiveness or offensiveness, it's easy to do. The only thing to watch out for if you're going to actually pull the trash, the horses can fear. That's about it. And I think the stable hands can stun, but honestly it's not a huge thing. It's really not that bad. That said, if you're not sure whether you can handle it all, pull all the trash. I mean, it's easy enough to clear, but it's also pretty easy to just punch Midnight in the face and everyone comes running. So, this is probably going to go pretty quick because my damage is pretty high. This is the easiest boss in the place, first boss. Wow, I'm not even done saying what you're supposed to do with it and it's dead. So the way the fight normally goes is you pull Midnight. After a few seconds, Ottoman the Huntsman comes out, and it's a duel situation. You kill them both. And then once, I believe, either one of them gets to 25% or both of them gets to 25%, he mounts on top of Midnight, and then it's a normal fight. But their health is abysmal, and it's pretty easy to actually do. I'm just picking up everything. He is the one that can drop the mount of this place. So if you're only in here looking for the mount, you can kill him and leave once a week. However, there's also pets, there's transmog, there's fun stuff to do. After that, if you come over here and clear this group, there is a vendor. So if you ever need to repair or sell, there's a lot of junk in this place, so I'm going to preemptively just start selling everything. Your bags fill up quick in here. But that guy's there. There's another vendor later on, quite a bit later on actually, so your bags are probably going to be pretty full by then. Somehow, two of them didn't pull. I have never seen that happen. I'm going to let them live. They clearly want to. I've never seen that happen. Every bit of trash is supposed to come with the first boss. Now there's two ways to get to the second boss. There's the long way, which is if you go past the vendor I just showed you, up and around, there's some twisting passageways there. There's a lot of trash, so if you're looking for reputation with what's the reputation in here? It's not the Violet Eye. Is it the Violet Eye? I don't remember. I'm revered with them, so I don't even pay attention anymore. But there is a reputation for this place. If, now I'm curious. What is it? It is Violet Eye, I was right. So if you're looking for Violet Eye reputation, it's good to go the long way, which will bring you out over here, instead of the way that I just went. You don't have to clear all these guys, I'm just doing it because it's kind of fun. Lots of big pulls of little things that really aren't going to hurt you. Even if you're a squishier class, a lot of the stuff in here as a level 70 raid, coming into it as a level 90, it's just not going to really harm you at all. But specifically, these little phantom guests, they're not even elite. Like, you can pull a ton of these guys. So this is Morose. This is the second boss. There used to be a strategy to him where you had to take down the ads separately. Now you can just burn the boss. If you don't think you're going to have enough defensive abilities to burn the boss and take all the hits from these guys, feel free to kill those guys. I'm not going to. I'm just going to AoE them all down. So, and he drops really quick. For the minions, there's one of them that can heal, so if you're trying to take them down separately, kill the one that can heal. I don't remember which one it is. Hold on, let's get this guy. It's one of the female, it's a healer. It looks like a healer. Drops not too much. If the fight goes on for a while, Morose will vanish, and then reappear after a few seconds and garrote a player. Don't worry, the vanish does not reset the encounter. A lot of different times where bosses do vanishes and stuff like that, or when there's no player around or something, things can reset. But Moros does not do that. So if you see him vanish, just give him a second, he'll be back. Kill all these guys. You can kill more of the trash than I am if you want reputation or the drops, none of which are that great. Great netherweave cloth. If you want netherweave cloth, this is the place to be. Good for a few other little things too, but nothing amazing. You'll get lots of these, but they're useful only for crafting the plans for the stuff that you get in Karazhan, and nobody really uses them anymore, so I just kind of vendor them. Now I don't remember if this boss is optional or not. We're going to go to the Maiden of Virtue. I don't know. I get the feeling that we did it for a reason, but it could have just been loot drops. I've never tried to skip the Maiden of Virtue, because I think it's a cool fight, and not that it lasts very long these days, but you know. But it may be possible to skip it. It might not be mandatory for clearing the whole place. This hallway, it's got some side rooms. You can go down them. Doesn't really matter too much. There's more stuff to kill, you know. So Maiden of Virtue, I'm going to tell this stuff beforehand because I keep trying to show it while I'm doing it and it's not working too well because they die too quick. Maiden of Virtue, if you are within Consecrate range, I guess, so I guess it would be the range of like a Consecrate around a Paladin, basically roughly the area of that platform she's on. If you're within that range, she's going to put down a Consecrate every few seconds, which will silence you. If you're a melee class, doesn't matter worth a darn. If you're a caster, you're going to want to be able to snare her or have something else tank. If you're a warlock, there's some way to get out of melee range if you rely on spells. She can also put a dot on you, which can be cleansed, but doesn't do like any damage at all at this level. So yeah, that's Maiden of Virtue. Not very challenging. Like at the moment, I am eye level 530 in almost all DPS gear while running tank spec, and things kind of just explode in here. That said, I was doing this entire place on my Warlock at level 86. The Warlock is now level 90, so I figured I might as well come in down here. This place is not super challenging, as long as you kind of know what you're doing, where you're going, but even then it's not too bad. So I think I got one more boss for this video. I missed that guy the first time, but I guess I pulled him up this time. Oh, and I got those guys. Well, whatever. And then I'll probably cut this video there, because the bosses are just going quick, so it doesn't matter too much. Oh, there's some boots. Now these guys, the skeletal ushers, if your fight's going to take a while, they can encase you in a frost tomb. Not too much of a worry if you have good DPS, but if you're coming in here, level 85, 80, which is still doable this place, just watch, make sure to burn those guys down. Because they encase you in a frost tomb, and I don't believe it resets the encounter, but it doesn't make you immune to damage, so you're gonna take a bunch of hits. Which is, you know, if you're coming in here at an earlier level where you can't kill those guys immediately, they'll probably kill you. So, something to watch out for. So you jump down, passageway up and around here, and past the spectral performers, and this is going to be the opera event. Now, every week they give you one of, I believe it's 3 options for the event. Not options, it's a random decision. But, so the one that I show today may not be the one that you get your time through. You talk to this guy, tell him you're not an actor, but you're going to give it a shot anyway. He'll get changed into a fancy suit, and go out to introduce the opera event to all the people out there, who you could have killed first, but they don't really drop much, and they're not even elite, so I skip them. And judging, or based on what he says, you'll know which event it is. It kind of makes it pretty obvious. Let's see what we get. Oh, this is Romeo and Juliet. So Romeo and Juliet, pretty simple. You fight, or they give them slightly different names, but it's Romeo and Juliet. You fight Juliet, then you fight Romeo, then you fight them both together. They have to die within a few seconds of each other. So if you are lower DPS, just make sure they're about the same and then burst them both down. It's not too difficult. The other options are sometimes you get Big Bad Wolf, which is tank and spank, except occasionally he'll turn you into a little red Riding Hood themed gnome and you have to run away because he does extra damage to you and you cannot do damage to him at that point. So if that happens, you just kite him around the outside of the area. And sometimes you get Wizard of Oz, which has a lot of different enemies, but they're all really easy at this level. It's really not difficult at all. So we have Julianne, who can heal. So again, if you're coming through here at a lower damage output level, just try and interrupt her heals whenever you can when they're both up. So she's down. Got the very, very classy background there. Romulo, he's dead, and then they should both come back up. And may as well just AoE them both down. And do some damage to him so that they don't... There you go. And they both go down. And then you can loot them. Come on. I said loot them. There you go. And just some leggings. Nothing too fancy, I guess. Alright, so that's going to be the end of part 1 of Karazhan. Thank you for tuning in, and... Oh wait, hold on. I forgot you can loot them both. That's why it was less loot. I love the way that thing looks. On like a caster, just hard to get, like, fancy purple gear. I think it looks pretty cool, but that could just be me. So thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching, and tune in next time for part 2 of Karazhan.